Hello, and welcome to my card game tier list. What does this really entail? Well, pretty much I have 21 card games selected, and I rank them all the way from S tier all the way to D tier. S tier being, oh my god, am I in love with this game? I could sink 500 hours in without even blinking an eye. D tier being, it tried, but it's bad. Now, of course, this is all my opinion, so of course, something that I truly love could be something you truly hate, and vice versa. So take this with a little grain of salt. This is just purely my opinion. This is just a fun video I decided to do. But yeah, if this goes anywhere and I get a lot of attention out of this, I might do more in the future. I might make a part 2 because, oh my god, is there a lot of card games out there? There was just like an entire gold mine of card games, and I only selected 21. I could have selected 100, but we would be here for like 5 hours talking about it, so I dwindled it down a bit. Let's get on to it, and we're starting with D tier. The first card game on the D tier list is Animation Throwdown. Is it a fun game? No. Is it a funny game? Yes, absolutely. It's something you look at for like 5 seconds and you're like, oh my god, that is hilarious. It's a dog pile that you just look at and you just laugh at. It's not very core centered to like any kind of game. It's just for shits and giggles. I mean, it's legit like, oh my god, Peter from Family Guy's in it. Oh, yo, like it's a throwaway shit. Like it has absolutely no value in it, and it's a mobile game pretty much. It plays like one, it feels like one, it's got microtransactions in it. It's a free game, but just because it's free doesn't mean it's good. It's a game you play for like 15 minutes and you were like, oh yeah, it was something, all right. It definitely didn't feel like a game. It just felt like a fever dream. And I guess that's what they were trying to go for. I mean, a lot of people enjoy it, but for the shits and giggles of it. So it's a funny game to play for 15 minutes. It has no actual value or anything. It doesn't really satisfy you when you play. It's funny. The next one on the list, probably a lot of you assumed, which is Artifact. It's one of Valve's only like biggest flops of their entire career. They announced it back in 2017 during the Dota 2 competition, and everyone booed at it. They've always maintained their entire structure on shooters, but them just diving straight into Artifact, a card game nonetheless, is just really out of the realm, and you can tell easily by playing it. I mean, it's been out for 3 years, and it still feels like you're just dying on the inside when you play it. It's beyond boring. It feels like a chore. The matches last over like 20 minutes to 30 just playing a single goddamn round. It is beyond a chore. It's just boring, tasteless. It doesn't have any feeling to it. It's just like, here's a card game that we made. Hopefully you enjoy it. Have fun, I guess. It's definitely not up towards any standards that I have for a card game, and I don't really play card games that much. I'm not really into any kind of card games. This solidified my entire distaste for card games. It doesn't feel like a game. It doesn't have the passion, the drive, or anything. It's boring, it's tasteless, and it does not feel good to play. C tier. Okay. Our first game on the C tier list is Cozy Cards. Now, a lot of the C tier list is going to be indie games, and C tier isn't technically a bad thing. It's more so, it's like, it's a card game. You pick it up and you expect it to be a card game. It's a card game. It's fun for like 15-20 minutes. That's all there is to it. It's not bad. It doesn't make you feel groggy or terrible afterwards. It's just a card game. That's all there is to it. And Cozy Cards is pretty much just like that. It's a really chill card game. It's just like you sit down for like 5-10 minutes, you play it, you feel good, you're done with it. Like there's no replay value to it. You play cards, you do it, that's it. It's as simple as it sounds. Card Crawl, on the other hand, is a really, really fun game, but it just feels like there's just no to little value in it. It's a solitaire dungeon crawler, which sounds absolutely just a mindfuck of a game. And it is a mindfuck for like 5 minutes. Like, oh my god. It is like the best thing ever for 5 minutes, and then you realize it's just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. There's no actual thing to it, and it's only $3 on Steam, so it's not like, oh my god, it's terrible, I wasted all my money on this. It's $3. Does that mean it's good in any sense? Yes, kind of. It is a good game for the fact that it is fun to play, but it doesn't really have any replay value. It's just, you play it for 15, 30 minutes and you enjoy it. It's just, I know a lot of people would like Card Crawl. It's a really, really fun game. It's just nothing towards my kind of value of a game. High Stakes is a vampire gambling game with cards. Does that sound weird? Yes, because it is, and it is fun. It's a fun game for, you know, for a certain amount of time, and then it gets repetitive, boring, and you just don't really want to do anything with it anymore. It's an indie game, so I'll give it that. It's small, made by one person, so of course I'm not gonna just go berate it or anything. It's a fun game, but it doesn't really have any value compared to the rest of them on the list. So it just, you know, it's there, it exists, it's fun. Do I consider it amazing? No. Is it good? Yes. Patient Rogue is also on the same terms of High Stakes, where it's just, it's a fun game, it's an indie game made by one person. It's a game, you play it, and you have fun with it, and then you just never play it again because there's not really any replay value. There's not really anything sentimental towards it. It's just, it's a card game. That's what it says it is. That's what it is. There's nothing really holding on to it that grasps it as like something more. Just a card game. That's why it's in C tier. It's a fun game though. It's a fun game. All these games I mentioned, you should definitely try because it's definitely, it's fun, and it's in the realm of, you know, you play it, you have fun with it. And most of these games on this list are free, so it's just, you know, it packs more of a punch when it's free because it's more like, yeah, you can play it, it's free, there's no harm in doing it, you can play it for 5 minutes and enjoy your time with it. Now we're going on to B tier. B tier is more games that like, they go above and beyond compared to C tier, but they fall just short below A tier to the point where they're just, you know, they're really, really good games. It's just the fact that after a while it can get repetitive, it doesn't really go anywhere. They're fun games to play though, like really, really fun games. They're just not above A tier or S tier kind of standards. So the first game we have on the A tier list is Uno by Ubisoft. I know that might be a little bit controversial. It's B tier for me because it honestly, it's Uno. There's no really like replay value to it. It's just, it's a game you put away and only play with your friends. One Step from Eden. This is an indie game that I like absolutely fucking adore. This game is like beyond everything that you can imagine. It's a really, really good game. It's got a unique concept to it. It's immaculate. It is good. It is really, really good. Why is it on a B tier? Because it's just, it doesn't appeal to me as much as A tier and S tier games do, where it's more like you play it and oh my god, you have such a good time with it, but I wouldn't say it's something that's like on my to-do list every day. It's not something that's like in the back of my head. It's just something I look at my Steam library and I'm like, oh my god, it's that game. So, you know, when I'm bored, I play it. It's not something that like motivates me to play it. It's not something that it's like, oh my god, I gotta play it. It's just, it's a game. And when I'm bored, I can play it and I'd enjoy my time with it. Legends of Runeterra is, of course, a League of Legends card game. I never heard of this until I looked into more of it, and it's a pretty fun game. Why is it in B tier though? It's because I'm not a big League of Legends fan, so I don't really have any feelings or sentimental value towards the game at all, and it doesn't really create any. It's a card game for League of Legends. That's all there is to it. There's not really much to say about it. It's a fun game. It's a really good game. It's just, it doesn't hit the mark at all for me because I'm not a League of Legends fan. I know a lot of League of Legends fans who like are into card games who like the game. It's just the fact that I've never really gone into it. Now, Gwent is a really, really hard game for me to put on a B tier list. I love The Witcher. I fucking love the show. I love the book. I love the video game. The card game is more so of a game that's just there. I had a lot of higher hopes for it when I saw that it was a card game because like in the game, it is like, oh, Gwent is so good. In the actual card game though, video game version of it, it's more like it's there. It's just they need to put more emphasis on it. It's a good game, but I'd rather play it in the actual video game rather than playing it separately. I think it's more so Gwent in the video game is more of like an atmospheric thing. It's like you kill a fucking beast and then you go to a tavern and you play Gwent. It's like, it's just, oh my god. It's just a wholly two different games. But when you offer Gwent as an actual card game without any kind of atmosphere, any kind of things to get to it, it's just, it feels less rewarding. Shadowverse is a really weird game. There's a Steam review for it and they describe it fantastically. Hearthstone for weebs. That's all there is to it. It's Hearthstone with retexturing to it. The voice acting in it though is just, it's something else entirely. It is, it's god awful, but it's funny at the same time. It's like watching a dubbed anime and it's, they're not good. They're not good whatsoever. Why is it on B tier? I just didn't really feel a connection towards it. It's Hearthstone with a new repaint. If you want to play a Hearthstone game, play Hearthstone. It's free. Shadowverse is free, but Hearthstone's definitely going to take the key for that kind of game. So, Bethesda, you know that company? Yeah, they made a card game from the Elder Scrolls series. I had no idea this existed until I looked up, card games. My god, is it good? Elder Scrolls Legends is a really good game. Like all the other Elder Scrolls games, they're good. The only one I have a little problem with is Elder Scrolls Online, but that's more so of like a massive multiplayer kind of thing. And, Elder Scrolls is such a good series. And the card game, it doesn't do it fully justice, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there. Why is it on B tier? Because it falls short. It's nothing like any of the Elder Scrolls games that I grew up with. It's a card game with Elder Scrolls plastered onto it. Does it feel like a cash grab? No. It feels more of like a game that had soul in it, but it just didn't reach its full potential. The Solitaire conspiracy is legit. Solitaire with lore. That's all. That's legit it. There's really good parts in it. The characters are, they're good. They're good. The story is good. It's, it's Solitaire. Solitaire. That's all there is to it. The gameplay is, pretty good. The visuals is what I really, really absolutely love about the game. It just puts you in a whole new atmosphere, and it's nice. It's a nice touch after playing a bunch of card games that are like, they don't really have any backdrops to them. They don't really have any really true passion towards atmospheric. Solitaire Conspiracy definitely has to take number one for visual appeal within this entire tier list because it's so good to look at. But it falls short of being a game. Now, going on to A tier. This is more of a tier of like games I absolutely adore. These games are the kind of games that like, they're good. They're good. They're absolutely immaculate. It's just the fact that S tier is like games that are like, oh my god. do I fucking love S tier. A tier are really, really good games too. But S tier is more so like, I want to have sex with the game. A tier is more like, yeah, it's a good friend. The first game for A tier is of course Solitaire. I mean, you know, I said last time Solitaire Conspiracy's in B tier, but Solitaire, the #1 game, I can't put that anywhere else but A tier. It's an A tier game. It's a fun game. It's a game I'd play in my off time. It's a game I'd play during school. It's Solitaire. What else do I say about it? Solitaire's a good game. I'm not going to put Solitaire in S tier because it's not a game I'd absolutely die for. It's more or less a game that's really, really good and I would play in my off time. Hearthstone, definitely an A tier because it is just, it's a good mix of card game, action, gameplay, visuals. It's everything combined into one goddamn bite, and it's so good to take that first bite. It's a breath of fresh air for all these card games because it's so good. It is so polished. I know Activision Blizzard is like, or Blizzard Activision, however you say it, it's just like, it's beyond the gutter. Like they're a terrible company. But Hearthstone, oh goddamn, that is such a good game. Kards is another really, really good game. It's a World War II card game. It's good. There's like 5 different factions you can choose from. Every single one has like different unique abilities to them. It's, you know, it's an unusual fighting card game. You have 2 sides you fight. It's good. It's really, really good. I have sunk in like 17, 20 hours already into it. It is just something you just play and you digest it and you're like, oh my god, I want more. There's even more. It's even free, but there's also campaigns to it that are like really high priced, which is like kind of a problem for a card game. It's like $40 for a campaign. That is kind of beyond anything I could expect of a card game. So that I have to fault it for a bit, but Kards is, you gotta play it. There's just nothing to it. If you like card games, Kards is definitely where it's at. Now the next one might be a bit weird where I put it, but it's Shroom and Gloom. What is that? It's an indie game that just came out. Like, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but it came out recently. And why did I put it on the A tier list when there's like other games that have been in development for like 2 years? It's because Shroom and Gloom absolutely just outblew my mind. It's like you play an indie game for the first time and you're thinking to yourself, well, you know, it's gonna be an indie game. There's not really much to indie games nowadays, and Shroom and Gloom just took that entire mentality and just blew it out of the water. It's in first person. It takes a whole new visual of card games. It's fun. It's a dungeon crawler. It is everything a card game of this gratitude could be. I have no other words but just to play it and feel it for yourself. It's good. It is really, really good. Now the final game for the A tier list is Magic the Gathering. Of course, where else am I going to put it? Magic the Gathering is such a good game. The actual card game in real life is so good, so of course the video game is going to be good too. It's Magic the Gathering. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. It is so good. Why is it an A tier list? Because it's so good. Where else am I going to put it? It is beyond amazing. If you want to play Magic the Gathering, go right ahead. It's free. It only takes like 10 minutes to download it. It's a good game. There's a lot of good story into it. I mean, even the tutorial lady sounds nice. It's good. It's really good. Play it. Okay, now we are finally on to S tier. These are games that are just, they're beyond anything I could ever imagined. They took the pre-existing motives of every single card game that I've played and tiered on this entire list and just broke it. They broke the entire thing. They're good. They're really, really good. And the first game on this really, really good list is Inscryption. If you have not heard of it, play it. Play it Oh my god, I'm only gonna show like a bit of gameplay here, but like it's, oh my god, you have to play it. There's like, I can't talk about it because it'd be spoilers of itself. It's a good game. It's a really, really good game. Play it, please. I might make a video in the future about it. It's just, it's good. It's really, really good. And the final game of this entire tier list is Slay the Spire. This is also another dungeon crawler card game, but this one I can definitely sink 100 hours into and not feel bad about it. This is a really, really executed good game. They had an idea for it, they did it, and they did it amazingly. There's just, you can play it for 100 hours and not feel bad whatsoever. It's a game that I absolutely adore, and I'm hoping you would like it too, because it's really, really good. It's up there with Inscryption, and Inscryption is just, it's immaculate, but Slay the Spire is really, really, really good. The gameplay within Slay the Spire is just something I wouldn't really think about, and it takes it to a whole new level, and it's everything a card game should be and more. A little bit of a short video. I know I didn't really explain the games entirely too well. This is just a tier list. I am going to go in depth about more of these games in future videos, though, if you do want to listen to that kind of stuff. And like I said before, if this video does blow up, I will, of course, make more videos about this, maybe a part 2, because there is lots and lots of card games. I'm back to YouTube. I know it feels weird for me. I know it probably feels weird for you too. It's been a year. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I could probably do more tier lists in the future if you guys really want me to. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching so much. Thank you.